Welcome everybody to MogTalk episode 244. Today we are going to be talking about VTubing in the Final Fantasy XIV community. If you are unfamiliar with MogTalk, it's a show based around the Final Fantasy XIV community discussing everything from Savage Raiding to Chocobo Racing. And before we get too much further into it, I want you to know who our guests are. So let's go ahead and start introducing them. I'm going to go clockwise here, I guess. Xyros, can you tell everybody who you are?
No, don't touch me.
All right, so
hi everybody.
go past.
My name's Xyros. I am, I guess, a Final Fantasy XIV VTuber. I've been playing Final Fantasy for 6 years since Heaven's Ward. I got into VTubing as soon as I saw models for this stuff were kind of easily accessible, and it's been pretty cool ever since. Look at this cool hoodie I get to wear. There's a little bunny rabbit because all I play is ninja. I don't play anything else.
Well, you got to get something that relates to the skill. You're right.
Exactly.
That you have in the game. All right, cool. No, it's good. It's good. So next, let's. I'm trying to. By the way, I redid my layout completely, so I'm messing around with it a little bit. But Spofie, could you go ahead and go? Oh, you're muted, Spofie. You're muted.
Oh no!
She's transcended.
Okay,
I wasn't ready to go second, honestly. I don't know why I thought I wouldn't be second. Anyway, I'm Spofie or Sophie. I am a Lalafell VTuber. I stream Final Fantasy XIV just about every night, and I have been dubbed as just a crafting streamer. So you can find just crafting on my stream. Yeah.
Okay. And next, Stal.
Hi, I'm Wind Up Zemo. I'm a warrior main. I'm a raider, island sanctuary enthusiast, Lalafell VTuber for about... Actually, I think this month marks my first year of VTubing. And yeah, I mean warrior. Thanks.
Don't mind my hands disappearing. I'm so proud of you.
I mean, being able to clap is like a huge achievement, to be honest with you.
On VTubing, it is.
Yeah. And then next, Kayoko.
Hi, I'm Kai or Kayoko, whichever you want to call me by. I probably am best known for fashion report and stuff like that, but I'm also a cat girl VTuber, coincidentally. And I've been VTubing for about a year now. It was back in August. I kind of just jumped into it and started streaming randomly because I saw someone on Twitter named by Tenko. She made my original model, and now I'm here. Yep.
Okay. And last but not least at all, Kiri.
Oh, hi. I'm Kiri, or Kiri Ahri. Either's fine. Ahri, Kiri. I am also a cat girl VTuber in Final Fantasy XIV. I guess most notably, my stream is probably the more lewd one. I'm so sorry. It's pretty high energy chaos all the time. So I do a lot of raiding though. I'm mostly a raider.
All right. I mean, that's VTubing, right? High energy chaos.
Yes, and I've been VTubing since about February. I used to go by Desi Bear, so a lot of people might know me by Desi.
Okay. And I just realized this. We have 3 cat people and 2 potatoes on the show. So, all right. We were kind of
I'm a bunny. I don't know.
That's a bunny potato?
Clearly,
I mean,
just for the record, I'm going to say cat people supremacy.
I mean, there's 3 of us.
We do outnumber them.
Yeah.
I vote that we break
And the stinky
cat.
human.
This human. What's up with this?
And
he's
nasty.
And he's not 3D like Xyros is. It's a totally different 3D. So what is this?
Yeah.
Some lifelike stuff.
Uncanny Valley stuff, you know?
Yeah.
No, I gotcha. Again, everyone, I was going to do VTubing stuff, but my stuff would look really cheap and bad, and it could have been funny too, but I think it is even more entertaining for me not to be in a VTube at all and be just completely surrounded by awesome VTubers. So that's what we're doing with today's show. And I know some people might be confused. There might be a few people watching the show confused. And I think that not everybody knows what VTubing is. They've heard the word and they've, kind of maybe might know something. I've talked to my friends just yesterday and they're like, what's a VTuber? And I'm like, who am I hanging out with anymore, right? But for those people, could we, whoever, I'm going to do this open floor the entire time. I'm not going to pick anyone. Whoever is the most talkative will win the conversation here, by the way. So could somebody explain what VTubing is?
No one speak. It's a secret.
Wait, are we allowed to talk about this, guys?
Kind of have to transcend to get here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had to explain this to 2 dads because my dad didn't get it. And then like a week ago, my birth dad came to my stream and was like, why are you some anime girl? And then I had to explain it again.
I had to explain it to my hairstylist.
Yeah, I don't actually know how to explain it. I feel bad because I don't want to speak for anyone else. But for me, it just it makes me feel like more free to like express myself personally. Like, I don't know. I have a lot of social anxiety. I know that's not like everyone's problem, but for me, there was a lot of pressure when streaming normally to like be on camera and like, you know, it was so much nicer just being able to like express myself through a character, sort of in the same way it is like when playing Final Fantasy 14 or something, you know?
I feel that.
Yeah.
I was like that too,
Yeah.
for sure.
I just thought it looked cool.
I think VTubing kind of originated as just another form of like content creation, entertainment a long time ago. Like, only in the last probably year or so has it really kind of hit like the Western world and has really blown up in popularity. A lot of people use it for like character creation, as well as like just like giving like life to these characters, and then of course other people. Like myself, I kind of just be myself. I don't really portray a character. I'm kind of just my own goofy, dumb self, and I think it helped me express myself in a way that I was a lot more comfortable with as well.
I think a lot of the reach of how it's gotten kind of to the Westworld, at least, is due to COVID mixed with like HoloLive and stuff at the same time. Like because everyone wanted entertainment and how like people are live streaming from home. Like while there's still like like regular streamers, of course, but HoloLive got really, really big with like anime stuff like that. And I think people just started researching, well, I have all this time on my hands now that I'm at home. What do I do? And people started developing tools and or it got more advanced. And then artists started figuring out how to make rigs and stuff like that because they have a lot more free time on their hands. And it just became more accessible. And there's tons of new tools that came out at the same time. So.
Okay. And I get to stream without pants on now, so that's kind of cool.
I don't know if you should say that.
Oh, I mean,
But
I have
it is
pants
a
on
perk.
right now.
Okay, good. You're not just saying that, right?
No.
That doesn't fucking matter. Shit, I might
Will
not
you
have
ever
pants
know?
on. No one can know.
Does Frosty have pants on?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But Stal, why did you start doing VTubing?
Oh man, I've never used a face cam or anything because same exact reason, anxiety and all that. I'm not very good with the whole social thing. And I actually thought about getting a VTuber for a very long time because I thought that it would be nice to have something on the screen, something as a form of interaction, I guess. And it just so happened that my artists that I've worked with for about 3 years-ish started dabbling into the whole VTubing scene. And yeah, decided to jump on it.
Okay. And I mean, there's so many different forms of VTubing, and so much technology that could really go into it. For example, Xyros has the ability to move his hands, right? And so does Kiri. It's just like crazy.
Sort of?
Yeah, I saw him go up. And
I have hands.
I have hands. I can't do a lot with them.
Same.
Yeah, my hands are actually, because it's a 3D rig, it's connected to a Leap motion controller, so it actually can track my hands and what I'm doing with my hands.
There's an imposter among us.
Hey!
I mean, it's all VTubing, though, right? I mean, technically, what is 3D, 2D, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, not everybody has the same, like, money to spend on VTubing equipment. Like, who's the one person who's really famous for it? There's, like, multi-$1,000 setup, and is in like a full motion capture
Code
suit.
Miko.
Probably Code Miko.
Yeah, Code
Yeah.
Miko.
Komiko.
Like a $20,000 setup.
Yeah, just like insane, absolutely insane seeing that stuff. But it is, I think you also have like kind of the budget lower level stuff that you can do with it. I mean, you could technically be a VTuber by just having an image up there and then kind of South Parking it, and the image just like mouth goes up and down.
Yeah,
and
the
you just use
PNG
Discord.
tuber.
It is a thing.
Yeah, I think PNG tubers are definitely a good place to start, whether you want to do it or not, or you just want to have a character representing you. But there's also some stuff like there's like a Discord interaction thing where it like flips between images and stuff like that. I've seen people use too, and that's like a good way to like just show that when you're talking, or like other people that maybe even your stream are talking too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you see a lot of people use that tool too, who don't even really have like big rigs or anything. They just have the little PNG images.
At the end of every episode right now, I'm doing face rig, and I'm just pulling whatever generic models they have on there. And the biggest issue with that is that my eyes don't seem to be in sync most of the time. And so one's blinking, one's not, and it's just like kind of going goofy. But it works. It does what I need to do.
You have to play with the settings a little bit, and it also there's different types of cameras and stuff you can use to make it a little bit cleaner.
Right.
I can totally relate to that because I wear glasses, and the reflection and whatnot makes it really difficult.
That's a reveal, right? No one knows you wear glasses.
Oh shit! I don't wear glasses.
Now we know.
Doxing.
Exposed.
Yeah.
Look, I might not actually have cat ears. There. I'm sorry.
Oh no. This is like ruining everyone's fantasy right
Oh,
now.
my immersion, Xyros.
I'm sorry, I'll get glasses right now.
Okay.
Glasses on the potato.
You know, I gotta say, so a lot of this is also coming from my outside experience with this and everything else, because I don't do it from like a day-to-day kind of VTubing stuff. But it started for me when I saw it, maybe like, I don't know, the beginning of 2020. Does that sound right? Around that time, like VTubing started to pick up a lot.
I think that's when it really exploded, but it definitely started even before that with like Kazuna AI, like on YouTube and stuff like that. But that was when I think the technology as like on a wide scale was a lot less developed, and and it just gradually over the years got more and more. Like there was face rig back in the day, like I want to say face rig was available back in 2015 or 17, or sorry, not 15, 2017 or 2018. And they had like a live 2D plugin for it.
Okay. Yeah, because when it first came out, I was just like, I don't know what the fuck this is. I have no clue. And it was just like, you know, super grandpa Frosty being like, oh my gosh, what the hell's happening? You know? But then like, I thought about it for like 2 seconds. I spent 2 seconds thinking about it. I'm like, this is the smartest shit that's ever happened to streaming in the world. And the reason I thought that is because, man, people are fucking horrible to streamers when they show their face. They stalk them. They like say stupid shit. They like do all this other stuff. But if you VTube, you just fucking get rid of half of that, right? And the second part of that is that you know, VTubing is not something that's unmutable. And I think a lot of people like that because they can represent who they want to represent on screen, or make a character for what they want to represent on screen too. And it's just so much fucking better than just regular streaming in my head. But I'm just, I don't know. It took me only a couple seconds to think about it before I was like, oh, well, this is weird too. Oh, this is intelligent as fuck. And I'm sure all of you figured that out. I mean, when your first introduction to VTubing, how did you guys react?
I mean, I was really into it. I thought it was a really cool way for people to create content and express themselves. When I first started, I was like, what the heck am I doing? Like, I'm not suited for this. I don't have the personality for this. Like, how do I be this character? And I actually, the first, I don't know, probably month or two doing it, I actually felt out of my element. But the more I did it, the more I leaned into it and started getting more comfortable with it, and actually really started to enjoy it. So I was definitely someone that got into it and was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And then it grew on me so much.
Okay. Anyone else? What was your first kind of reactions when you saw the VTubing technology? Were you like immediately like, hey, this is awesome? Or what was your reaction to it?
My immediate reaction to seeing that stuff was just like, this is such a crazy way to do this. Like, before, I never wanted to stream with a webcam on just because I really didn't want people to be staring at it. But I was like, a little character that people can see doing hand motions and things like that and reacting to things. For some reason, that seemed more interesting to me. And it kind of gives your channel a little bit more of its own personal flavor, I guess, if you want to say it that way. It's like bringing yourself and putting you into a little character that people can kind of relate to a little bit better than seeing someone that's just sitting there playing games. Because when I'm doing stuff, sure, I can be like expressive sometimes on camera, but I don't want to just like make silly faces all the time. And this avatar is hilarious when it makes mistakes. I absolutely love the little glitches it does. It's part of the the niceness of it.
I gotcha. Spofie?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Stal. Sorry, either one.
No,
Nah,
go ahead, Stal, you first.
nah, Spofie first.
Okay. So when I originally saw VTubing, I'm gonna try not. This is kind of a long thing, but I'm not gonna tangent too much.
Okay.
When I originally saw VTubing, I thought it was super freaking cool, and I had like messed around with FaceRig a bit back like years ago because I saw other streamers who had like made certain FaceRig profiles their main like thing. But I didn't when it originally when I saw more of it on Twitch, I didn't think I was gonna do it because I didn't want to just hop on the trend, which was kind of silly. I mean, just do what you want to do. It doesn't really matter who else is doing it. But at the time, I just was like, I don't know. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. And I think the reason I brought up, and I actually haven't really talked about this online or on stream before. But for me, I realized that like being on camera was really negatively affecting me.
I understand that so much.
I have pretty bad body dysmorphia, and in the summer of 2020, I actually got some cosmetic surgery. And after that, and when I was off camera after that, I did some self-reflection and basically realized I never wanted to be on camera again. Because I knew that like Twitch comments and stuff were like actually getting to me to the point where like I like went out and did something like that, and I was just like, at first I was just doing no cam, and then it just kind of evolved into like, wow, I feel like I can actually express myself again through VTubing. So
That's
Sophie.
Oh man.
Is that you, Kiri? You're pretty much the same on that.
I definitely related to like my biggest anxiety streaming before was cam streaming. I always felt like on the spot, like if I people would often comment, and I think everyone else has probably experienced this if they also had cams. You had like a tired day, or you just didn't do your hair correctly, or you looked perfect. People would always be like, "Are you sick today?" And it's like, no, I'm just normal today. But like stuff like that really does affect your like psyche, especially dealing with people that are constantly kind of analyzing your mood or how you're feeling or what you're thinking. And I've actually, this is the first year I've streamed consistently. I used to take long breaks because of the mental fatigue from just the anxiety that stemmed from all of it. So I totally understand where she's coming from with how that weighs on you. But I am Sophie. You're amazing, and I'm always so proud of you. And I know it must be hard to talk about stuff like that, but I'm always so proud of you.
Yeah, definitely appreciate you sharing that too. But I mean, like, and I think Twitch, and there's no way you can really completely control Twitch. It's just there's shitty stuff in the background. You could do all this moderation, you can do everything else, but the anxiety doesn't go away too. That shit in the back of your head, you can't just like ban that, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel that completely, at least in a way of it's I read every fucking comment that someone makes, it doesn't matter if it's like shitty or bad or anything else. It gets into my head one way or another. And there's certain ways that you can try to start processing it, but it still goes there. You still feel like the stings or, you know, the sharpness of it every once in a while. And I fucking, you know, there's some days I'm just tired of it.
Yeah, I think sometimes these things like work in your subconscious too, you know, like you might read something someone says or to you or whatever, and you're like, ah, no big deal, just another troll. But like sometimes these things like work when you don't even know they're affecting you.
Yeah.
Especially like it might not in the moment, but then if you have like a bad day or like a rough go of it, like you kind of think back to that stuff, and it always sucked. Like a lot.
Yeah. But Stal, you know, your perspective is kind of unique in a way that like you've never shown your face really. I mean, there's a couple of pictures I think that are kind of like hidden a little bit and everything, right? But you've always been kind of like closed off in that way, completely.
Yeah.
And this allowed you, I guess. Well, I'll let you talk about it. Talk about your experience with Kin of VTubing.
I guess when I first saw it, I was afraid to jump on it too, because during that period of time, a lot of people were accused of jumping on it because of the hype and whatever, and it was so scary. It wasn't that I wanted to go on the hype train or anything. I was genuinely interested, but not so much as playing a character, but just for interaction purposes and expressing myself and whatnot. But it was just really scary at the time, and I actually thought about getting one for about 6 months before I actually jumped on it. It was terrifying, and I think the reason I didn't want to do face cam as well was because there's a lot of problems and issues with streamers getting doxxed. And there were a bunch of stuff where a viewer would look into your eyes and see the reflection and determine where you lived. Like that actually happened.
Crazy.
That
actually happened to a stream. It was insane, and I was so afraid of this whole thing happening. In Singapore is so fucking small. Like everyone just knows each other. And I went so far as to not speak like now in real life, because my voice is really distinct. So if anyone heard my voice, they would immediately know it's me. So I went so far as to not talk in real life or make a deeper voice and stuff like that. Because I did go to uni one time and they were actually talking about me.
Oh my god, really?
Whoa.
It was so terrifying, and I was just sitting there like, oh shit. And then I dropped out. But then I got a VTuber thing, and it just went really well. I think even for Twitch statistics and everything, like the numbers, I don't know if it's okay to say this, but everything just started blowing up, I guess. Like my stream started doing a lot better, and the interaction definitely did play a part in it. And I ended up streaming really consistently as well, almost every single day. Yeah.
I will say, like, I do think the most positive thing you could do for your stream is to be happy while you're streaming, however you make that happen. I heard somebody talk about it, and I don't know who it was.
I was just gonna say, from my situation, I mean, your guys' situation is way more like impactful, I think, and like it helps you guys a lot. Like for me, it was like I didn't even get into streaming until I did this. Like it literally was like my presence online has always been like just based on my character, and I try not to, use my real life as much as possible. But I mean, it does come in sometimes. But like in general, like it just gave me an outlet for like using my character so I could represent my own self online in some way, and I just felt like, oh, hey, that's why I wanted to do it. Like, I mean, I don't really want to show my face, to be honest, on stream anyways, because half the time, like, I just want to like lay back and chill, and like I feel like I have to like be like attending, like making sure, oh, I have to look proper on this like camera and stuff like that, and I don't feel like I need to do that anymore. I can just like still chill and just make sure I'm expressing myself still properly, like through my face. I mean, actually, honestly, I've exaggerate with my face way more when I'm using this than I even do in like real life, which is crazy.
That's true.
It is
You have
so
to be
true.
really expressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've noticed how much I wave my
almost
arms
hurt.
around like a maniac.
I can't imagine with 3D. Like that's the one thing that's scary about 3D, how much you have to move and be crazy. Whereas like now I just like still just like lay back and just like this is
So
good.
I have moments where I take off the little leap motion controller because it does get hot if it stays on my chest for too long, where I actually unplug it. And if somebody shows up to my chat and I say hi to them, I'm always going like, "Hi, everybody." But then my hands are gone, so I'm just like, "Hi. Why aren't my hands moving? What's happening?"
Right, right. I mean, I guess. What was I thinking? Oh yeah, so there's different reasons for why people VTube overall. I mean, there's different types of VTubing in general, right? Some people want to be a character, a complete character that is not them at all, someone completely separate. Someone just wants, and some people just kind of want something to represent them and their emotions and everything else. And I guess the really cool thing about VTubing is if you made those emotions that you're making really expressive, it would look weird probably if you were showing those super expressive emotions with like on camera versus doing it through the VTuber. But you can feel confident that it doesn't look as weird. So you don't feel, I don't know, if you're going to make those expressions, you're not judged as much on how you're making the expression, I guess, if that makes any sense. Or at least that's how I feel.
Do y'all find yourself making your VTuber expressions in real life sometimes? Because I do.
I can't
I
stop
make my
smiling.
VTuber sounds in real life now.
Sounds?
Yeah, like sometimes you reply with like a certain way you reply as your character. I'll be like, I do it in real life now.
I can't stop making this laugh whenever I'm just like smiling now. It's just this big gaping smile.
Because you know you have to do that to make your VTuber like open their mouth. So you're
Yeah.
like,
I think I am developing
Yeah.
neck problems though from this sway.
oh my gosh.
Oh
There-
my gosh.
There's one type of emotion that apparently my face picks up a lot, and I don't know if this is good, so I just disable it. It's the anger face. And it's just always on all the time if I have it enabled. And I don't know if I'm not an angry person.
Same thing. I've just somehow accidentally always look angry like this. And people be like, Kiri, you have your angry face on. I'm like, oh. Oh.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, like, resting upset VTuber face? Is that what it's called?
Perhaps.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about Final Fantasy XIV a little bit, because it's actually a pretty big scene right now. I mean, I'm gonna let everybody know the people we have on the show are not the only VTubers for Final Fantasy XIV. It's a fairly big community, wouldn't you all say?
Yo,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's grown.
There's like-
It's grown in popularity for
there's
sure.
over like 100 VTubers that I know of.
In Final Fantasy XIV?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 20, 30.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Actually, a lot of the people that I used to stream with, they all started getting their own models and everything now because they just like the way that they look, and they want to also kind of put their own 14 character into the onto their stream and have it be their character.
Yeah,
I
I
like have
think
it
that's
relate
a
more.
huge appeal for like us 14 players is like getting to bring our character to life feels really cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Like having someone make you fan art and you're like, you know what, I like this character. Now I want them to walk around and move on like the screen too and be like this little avatar that can wave at people and say hi.
All right. Well, holy shit. So I guess I want to ask this too. How I just see like random shit coming up on your screens every once in a while.
What?
Like on
Card
the VTuber
movements.
stuff.
I forgot about my Carby. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, no, that is fucking ridiculously well done. Holy shit. Do you all have a lot of interactions with your VTuber?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
give me
yes.
1 second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change my face.
I personally do not. I didn't commission extra because I thought I'll be busy reading anyway. I can't do so
Hello?
much shit.
I didn't think I would be as into it, but now I spend way too much money on commissions.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
God.
almost
Yeah.
an addiction.
It's a business expense if you're a streamer, though.
Absolutely,
I
that's
didn't
what we
think of
call
that
it.
far.
Yes,
Every commission you ever get now is just a business
it's a
expense.
business expense.
Oh my god. Yeah, well, Stal, you just load it yourself up. It doesn't really matter. You just
Yeah, I think you got a lot of accessories.
It's just pretty nice when you
Yeah.
can just change stuff like that because you have all the little like items you can add.
Yeah, holy crap. All right. So, anyways, maybe I shouldn't ask this. Budget-wise, are you all spending a whole bunch on it, or is it like, a couple $1,000s and you're like, I'm done, or like,
That's a
Is it-
lot.
is
Do
it
you
like-
want the real
okay.
answer?
Okay. Okay, that's a lot. I just want to make sure I knew. Like,
I think. I mean, the budget.
Wait,
It depends.
oh god, I have a problem.
like, do you have a
I-
credit card that's like just you need to pay off and it's never going to be paid off?
Considering I'm about to like go through a whole rebranding and changing a lot of things, yes, it is expensive.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I had to do a whole rebranding with this model and stuff like that, and it costed a lot of money.
It's so
Man.
good though.
I was thinking of doing a rebrand.
Yeah,
Not
I was thinking
anymore?
about it too.
You're like, I have so many assets already.
So real answer though is that you can start for free.
Mhm.
Like if you're really interested, you can absolutely start VTubing for free, and the budget can range anywhere from a couple hundred to thousands.
Yeah.
I've seen people spend upwards of 5,000 to 10,000. I've seen people spend, a couple hundred. So
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you see this model?
Mhm.
This model costed $80, but that's because it was from a friend. I got lucky.
Yeah.
You can get PNG tubers for like $20 or $30, and that's why
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
a place to start.
Vroid also is a free option if you take the time to mess around with the program. It's 3D, it's not 2D, but it's a good starter point.
There's also a cost involved of depending on how expensive you want to be with like your camera, because you on the high end you really need at least a iPhone. This is on the high end though, so you need an iPhone with Face ID because it just gives you way better tracking, at least for 2D. I don't know about 3D. I know there's a lot of trackers and stuff, and Xyros probably knows better on that.
For 3D stuff, it's insane. Like you can get a whole mocap outfit if you want, and
Yeah.
just sit around in that. Or you can go the really cheap end, or I guess with the inexpensive option, which is what I have right now, which is the Leap Motion Controller, and then just a webcam. But if you want to get better face tracking, obviously, I think you need to get an iPhone because it just has better face recognition.
Oh gosh, should I be using my iPhone?
You have,
I
do you
mean,
have, like, what
I-
iPhone do you have?
Oh, I have the 12 something.
Oh yeah, you can use that
Yeah.
with Face ID.
I bought a Sony
Mhm.
camera right before I decided to stop using cameras.
Oh,
I
no.
did too. And I just
Hey.
use my iPhone now.
yeah, like I'm just using
Yeah.
a webcam right now because I don't have an iPhone. But like part of it's like, oh, you get a way better like face recognition with the Apple phone.
That said, like VTube Studio's integrated webcam, and it's improving constantly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, they make it way more accessible, and it's always just updating and changing. At least for the VC Face, which is the program that I use, which is really nice, especially for people who want to get into 3D because it's completely free, and it normally bunches together a bunch of other applications, so it makes it super accessible.
Okay. So let's. I keep getting away from it because I'm just so fucking interested in the technology of all this stuff. Because it's just mind blowing how much it's developed. But I do. Final Fantasy 14 kind of community wise. Is there anything like unique about the VTubing scene in the Final Fantasy 14 community, or is it pretty much like VTubing is more of it transfers well everywhere?
I mean, it started popularity-wise far away from Final Fantasy
Yeah.
14. If you look at like the Hollow Girls and VShojo and stuff.
Mhm.
I think there's something special in the 14 community though, especially given everyone like the opportunity to express like their characters, their OCs, and the roleplay scene and whatnot.
Yeah, I think that's what really you see in 14 is, I mean, not everybody, don't get me wrong, but a large majority of people are expressing their characters from the game in some way.
Yeah, a lot of people like doing that, especially when you just look at all the people who make stories for their characters and things like that, which I feel bad about because I don't have for Xyros here.
Me neither.
But yeah, but there's a lot of people that do. So for them, this is like another way for them to kind of connect to their character and then have other people connect to it too.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, and that's I guess that would be the unique thing is that when you're getting the stuff commissioned, the people who are making it they're like, hey, make a Lala. And then do they always know what Final Fantasy 14 is when you're asking for commissions, or is it like they're completely outside the community?
Man, they seem to know for some reason.
They're
They're on to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my character is a cat boy. Say no more.
I actually think the Final Fantasy community in general is actually has a lot of I think it's well known because there's a lot of like art commissions that come from the community. Like it's a really popular genre to express with characters and art. At least my artist, she knew. She was like, "Oh yeah, I got this."
If you go to Skeb, there's so many Final Fantasy 14 art through there, so it's just
It's
tons
huge.
and tons like of people commissioning 14 art through there.
Yeah, that's the one thing about the Final Fantasy 14 community. I think maybe I don't know this about other communities as much, but we love our commissions. We love art of our characters, and
Big fan.
yeah. Whether it's VTube stuff or just art in general. I know someone who is like they budgeted out how much they could do for commissions every single month. Like how much they're going to do for just art in general.
Could it be me?
It might be. But yeah, no, it's amazing. Okay. So let's talk about problems in general with VTubing, like some of the struggles you might have had, whether it's technology, whether it's just whatever it could be. What are some issues that come along with VTubing?
A lot.
Besides money.
Yeah.
There can be technical stuff.
How everything broke before we started.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How you have to turn your camera off to make it come on? Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
It's still new-ish. I mean, a lot of these, I think since it's getting more popular, it's getting progressively easier. But at least for me, I started using PR Live, and there were like no YouTube tutorials when I started. I was like, what is this? How do I do anything without someone telling me what to do? And then I had to try and figure it out. It's hard, and I'm bad at it.
It takes a lot of research to like understand all the different things available to you, and there's still some like stuff out there that you probably won't even figure out. Like there's just tons of technology that like people have made plugin wise for like various like other tools. Like VTube Studio has a ton of different tools. Like for example, like you can use this thing to like change your character's like lighting on you based upon like the average of everything that's on the screen. So it makes it like you're having the lighting effects that are happening from whatever game you're playing, stuff like that. Like so there's tons of technology that can help you, but also break and be difficult to use.
It almost sounds like you need to be an IT professional. Like,
pretty much.
I think that's what Code Miko. Like Code Miko's like professional like mocap person or something, or like something with the animation. That's how she was able to get all the tools available. Yeah.
It's like a lot of things that you need to look into, like you said, like an IT specialist, where you find these things and you're just like, okay, so how does this work? And you have to do the research, then figure out how the program works, then troubleshoot it to make sure everything's working properly. And it just kind of stacks on top of itself. I didn't even know that apparently there's an update for this app that I'm using that lets me wink until today.
Yeah, VTube lets you stick your tongue out now.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can
And cheek puff. You can puff your cheeks.
No.
Jesus Christ. It's just like the small things are like huge victories, right? Being able to wink and puff your cheeks and oh jeez.
I can make kissy faces finally.
Do it.
Yeah.
No, I can't. All I can do is this.
Well, Stal kind of has it to where she doesn't have to make like any facial expressions right now.
This is great.
Yeah.
This is the best thing
when
I've
your
ever
face
done.
is 80% beard.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought that was a hairy tongue.
What? Oh.
I'm kidding.
That's the new
Oh,
tongue
no.
feature.
That is a thing of nightmares.
Xeno, how could you? I forgot that's actually Xeno that we've been talking to this whole time.
Yeah, it's Wind Up Zemo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. All right. So we've established a lot of like ground pieces to the VTubing scene and everything else. There's a few other questions I want to ask, but I guess let me ask this. We thought maybe it was a fad, but are we pretty much way past that point, and this is just like a permanent thing that's going to be in the
I think
future
it's here
forever?
to stay.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
Here to
Yes.
stay.
to prove that it's here to stay. I've seen people like even people that I never thought I would see VTubing. Like I could just name streamers outside of the 14 community at this point.
Mhm.
People like Scara, Catlink, Limes. It's just exploding. Everybody loves this stuff. And you know what? I'm okay with that because again, it gets people off of camera, which can create a lot of anxiety for people,
Mhm.
and it
I
makes
think
them
it
feel
lets
more
people
comfortable.
explore who they want to be too.
Yeah.
In a way that you can't otherwise.
Yeah, it's almost like kind of like more old school internet feeling, you know?
Yeah, because you're kind of putting up a character, sort of.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's adding like an avenue of creativity for sure. Like, absolutely, you can't do this with just a regular camera. It's past the point of it. I mean, there are people who are like really negative about it. You know, the cringy viewers who are like, "Oh, is that really a girl? Is that really so and so?" That you have to kind of deal with every once in a while. But I think that's going to fade away, and no one's going to give a shit after a while. But I don't
Yeah.
know.
Not
It
as
was
bad
there
as I
before
thought
all
it
this
was gonna be.
anyway, so
Yeah, you had those people who came in and said like, "Your voice is stupid. I hate you." They're like, "Oh, I love you. Okay, bye."
That's the stupidest shit.
Yeah.
All right, you don't fucking like me, just leave. What's the hold up? Why you got to be a piece of shit?
I actually expected when I went from camera to VTube that it would be like really tough on my channel because usually when you make such a like drastic change, you like feel that, you know, like people will ask a lot about it or like have different opinions and like I really did it. Like most people were just like, okay. And like nobody like very few people even disliked it. And the people who did were just like, it's not really my thing, but I'll stick around anyway, like sort of thing. So
Mhm.
that's how I, for the most part. I had a few people that actually were like, sorry, I can't stick around because this isn't for me. And I was just like, you know what? That's fair. Bye.
Yeah, I mean that's really what it is. I mean, because what you were doing before isn't what you're doing right now, and maybe that shakes up what they want, but it doesn't matter because it's what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
And again, my whole thought process is if you're not happy, then there's no reason for you to be doing it. I mean, just recently, and this is a whole fucking side note, and I don't mean to talk about it just because I want to talk about me personally, but, you know, over, like, years, I kind of refused to do, like, what Twitch wanted me to do in order to be, like, you know, sponsored or partnership or anything. I just couldn't do it because I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy doing that. I wasn't happy forcing myself to do what they had for their guidelines. And so I just stuck with it and just fucking randomly. I guess they did a blanket like partnership for a whole bunch of, I don't know what it was. I never fucking know. I hate Twitch. I'm going to be honest. I'm wearing a Twitch t-shirt. I fucking hate them. But it's a platform, right? It's just a platform for me to use that people have access to. And I think it's the best thing in the world to be able to express myself and be there. But as a company, I'm definitely not for them. And if there's a better situation, I would definitely leave Twitch. But that being said, they eventually just went ahead and gave partnership anyways to me, even though I didn't stream for 2 weeks. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know what was different. But they did that. And I think overall, I was a happier person because I didn't force myself to go into what people said was the guidelines and I had to do.
Did you even apply when that happened?
I did. You know, every once in a while I do it.
Yeah.
Like I
think
send
they just
out,
roll dice every
Yeah,
time.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think they literally they're like, okay, this application, I'm gonna just throw the dice.
Yeah.
I
think
remember my
that's what it is.
application. I was
Go
gonna say my application was no different than the first one, so I was like what changed? The like viewer count almost was exactly the same. Like what are you deciding differently here?
Yeah.
That's funny you say that because I remember I messaged them back after they denied it the first time, and all I said in my application for the second time was, "I did what you said. Give me what I want."
Oh
That's
my
it.
god.
They liked it forceful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I apply. I have like the old emails, but and this is before they had the achievements and stuff. It was a
Yeah.
long time ago, but
Mm.
I think I applied for partner almost 13 times before I got.
Oh
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
Yeah, I
look,
just kept doing it
Oh,
every couple
jeez.
weeks.
I have like 20 or so applications.
Yeah,
It was
it's like why
I,
not?
I've been streaming for like 6.5 years, right? But I just never did. Like, there were times where I was like, "Hey, let me try to fit their mold," and I even though I hit all the check marks, hit everything, they're just like, "No, you know, do a little bit better, or just stream a little bit more, or do something." I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to do?" And then after a while, I was like, "Just let me stick to what I'm doing." And they had these rules of like, "Hey, you need to hit this amount for this many hours." I'm like, "Well, if I hit it like 5 times that amount in one day, what's the difference here between me doing it one day versus 3 days?" And that just never clicked for him. But eventually, I guess it did. And they don't tell you why, or they don't say anything. They're just like, "Hey, good job, you got it now," and that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess I got lucky then.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
it had something to do with my region. Because I think in Southeast Asia they lacked streamers 3 years ago.
mhm.
So I didn't really meet. I mean, I met the 75 average and everything, but I only had 800 followers, and it was my first month of hitting it, so it was really weird. But I'm guessing it's just a region thing at that point.
They
Nah,
also like when people grow quickly. It shows like
Oh,
yeah.
I
Like-
think it.
maybe that's why.
I think it's also like time of day that you stream. Like if you stream when it's really popular, there's a lot more people going. I think they're going to be. It's a lot more competitive to get partnership. If you stream like middle of the night and you're pulling higher numbers, maybe that's also has a factor in. I don't know.
When I applied Stal, I only had about like maybe I had less than 2,000 followers too.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was really surprised actually.
Mm.
'Cause-
I know they don't really weigh the follower count as much as it is the growth, and then how quickly that can grow. And they see the numbers, they're like, "Oh, we like that." They don't care about the follower stuff.
Mhm.
I
I was
guess it
too
just
scared
didn't
to
make
apply
sense.
for so long. It took me forever to apply because I was just so scared I was gonna get crushed by the answer.
You'll just get the generic email. You know, I have so many of those generic.
It's soul
Oh
crushing.
my gosh.
Generic soul crushing.
But I mean, when I was applying back in the day when they actually typed to you and like had conversations with you and stuff. And I remember that, and I don't know if it made it any better. I just kind of got grumpy either way.
Yeah, that's why I know the thing about like the growing thing is because back in the day they would really talk to you. Like they showed me a graph of my viewers and they were like, "Look, this line is
Wow.
going
Whoa.
sideways. You want to see the stonks go up line."
The stomp. You want the strong
I want to see the
stomp.
stomp go like this. not like
Yeah,
this.
okay, I see what you mean.
I'm
But
pretty convinced. Yeah, I'm pretty convinced it's a region thing.
yeah, there's differences in regions and stuff. I think as well. They have different teams for different areas. But anyways, in the end, fuck Twitch. You know, it is what it is. I'm glad we have a platform that works and people can come to, but maybe it'll evolve in some point and it'll be different. But VTubing will stay the same. You know, and it's going to be even more than what it was before. I mean, stay the same, I guess, is the wrong answer because it's going to be like way fucking more. I mean, it could be really the future of streaming in general. Because
wait for
streamers. I said that one more time. Sorry.
Wait for holograms.
Oh, holograms.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet. I'll just beam myself into someone's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have like a TV or something. It like looks like you're playing the game. Like it makes like a hologram TV, and you can watch the game on the TV that they're playing on. I'd be down for that. But I think it is going to advance because it's such a safer route to start streaming and get into it and avoid half of the creepy shit that comes along with growing a Twitch channel. I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
yeah, the
scary.
privacy.
Yeah, and for new streamers in general, like they don't. There's sometimes just like a younger audience coming in that doesn't really know what's going on with streaming and all the pitfalls and everything else, and they have to go through all that, and some of that shit's really dangerous. there's some really weird, creepy people out there, and you don't know that until you start to experience it.
Yeah, it's terrible. There's a lot of doxing issues as well.
Yeah. It can
Will
be
you make me
scary.
mod? I give you $100. Is that weird stuff?
Put a
Yeah.
shoe on your head, and I'll sub. You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, eventually, you know, having this as like an option to express yourself as a newer streamer and everything else, and actually not being super difficult. Like you can technically just get or face rig, spend like what $20 on it, or is it free? I forget what it is now, and be a
15.
snowman.
Yeah.
You know. And have fun with that. And I think that that's awesome that it's doing that. And being that as a very clean entryway into streaming and safer than anything else, if anyone's getting into streaming, I would encourage that versus just using a camera, because it's so much more comfy. For me, if you guys, I obviously feel that way as well. VTubing is so much more comfy than using a regular camera. So I don't know. With that being said, the growth of Twitch and everything else, it may be mostly just VTubing, and cameras might be a little bit less prominent in the future, but we'll see. I mean, go ahead.
I wonder, I mean, there's definitely going to be like more technological advances with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we might not even really know where it's going to go yet, you know?
Well, tell me some of your ideas, what you think it could go to. What's in your imagination?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I think
it'll be big. I think even people like with some people like Pokimane and you know some of these really big content creators getting into it, I think it might just become like a normal. You see it in like sponsorships and all over kind of thing.
So I definitely see I've seen sponsorships and stuff like already happen because there's there's a VTuber that's from Cloud9 that's sponsored by Cloud9. It's like Vienna or something, I think is her name. And so like that's already kind of started happening. But I think what I would expect to happen is there's going to be a lot more accessibility for so the technology is not going to be as like hidden behind like, because that's basically what's happened now is we've just had more accessibility with the types of technology that people have, but like also like models I think will be easier for people to have with like live 2D. Like I've already seen like some phone apps that are like kind of character customizable with like live 2D. I don't know the name of it, but like you have some like default models and there's some small things you can change on them and they kind of work, but they're not like super elaborate. They're not like you're not gonna be able to make like an OC out of it. It's like a bunch of people are gonna have it. So I foresee like basically a character creator almost becoming available at some point that people could just use a bunch of live 2D assets and put them all together, and then that's some way easier for people to get into it.
Yeah, I mean there could be like, you know, technology like I think is it Nintendo that does it where you put a picture of your face and it just makes a me or something of you, or there's something that does something similar to that.
Yeah, Nintendo has something like that.
Yeah. And so they could probably still do that with just make the same thing happen with VTubing and the same kind of customization. You can kind of change it a little bit afterwards, and you can make it be your character. You could take a character of your, from Final Fantasy 14, put it on there, and they just try to make a character like that in this VTube software. And that's probably can't be too far off the road if it's not there already.
Yeah, there was someone who I saw. Sorry, Xyros. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, just thinking about it now makes me feel like we'll know it's really big when people are able to make their own Sonic OCs.
Oh my god.
All right, explain that to me, please.
This is just a meme with people making like Sonic original characters, that's all.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think you can like Google your name in Sonic and you'll always find like
You'll find a character.
You'll find a character.
What?
Do it.
Yeah, like
Frosty.
That was like a Tumblr meme back in the day.
Frosty, Sonic, and then what? Is that it?
Yeah, and then you just image search and you'll find you'll find a Sonic character that's named Frosty the Hedgehog.
Oh my god, I did!
Yeah.
Frosty the
That's your
Flight
hedgehog.
Fox.
So that's how you know that we've made it big with VTubing.
Hold on, I want people to see this because this is fucking amazing.
Frosty's got a new OC.
Why did I bring
Holy-
this up?
Holy
Frosty's
shit.
now a Sonic VTuber.
There we go.
Open image, save image.
Just another asset to add to OBS.
There
Yeah,
we go.
another dead asset that will just live in there for years.
Frosty
Into the image dump it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is official Sonic Live 2D character. I forgot
Oh,
about that.
really?
I think there's someone who did Kaiba too for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, I know that someone made
Oh.
one for an anime, but then they actually got a
Yeah, the
cease and
copyright
desist.
stuff. Someone made
Yeah.
like all the Genshin characters and got in big trouble.
Oh,
It's Frosty.
Yeah, it's fucking me, man.
Let's just like you.
Yeah, no.
I just want
know.
to say.
VTuber.
Oh, be a VTuber.
I'm so goddamn
There you
cute.
go.
You should put like a little Moogle palm on that.
oh my god.
Oh my gosh, it could actually, yeah, just that alone.
It could be
boom.
done. You know what? There's a chance, everybody. There's a chance.
We got him.
You got me. I'm sold. But yeah, no. I guess there's a good thing to talk about here too. Is when we talk about having to get all this technology and spend money on like stuff to like make the VTuber stuff, and there's like cheaper ones and there's like bigger ones. It's the same fucking thing with camera setup and room setup, man. Do you know how much money goes into people making a really nice room for their camera to be like looking at, like all the lights and everything else, and then like get the lighting around your camera, then a really nice camera? I don't feel like it's that much different actually than just having a normal camera setup in terms of, you know, having to work with technology and make things work like that and spending money. So
You actually can be in pitch black almost, and and the iPhones can pick it up if you're using an iPhone. That is, so you don't need like if you're using Facecam. Obviously, I don't know with that, but I can have all my lights off and it still picks me up.
Yep.
Pretty well.
Yeah,
It's so
nuts.
nice.
Like it's so
Streamer.
wonderful how
Darkness
nice it is. 'Cause
streamer.
you can actually just like have everything in the dark, and then it'll just pick it up anyway. It's so much better
My
than having
natural
a webcam, though.
habitat.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm like all excited about Frosty and the hedgehog. All right, so I guess I do want to talk about this a bit because this is a big thing. I think a lot of people are concerned about, and no matter what, you're gonna see like negativity out there towards the VTuber stuff. I do want to talk about that a bit, just so people understand kind of what's out there and some of the struggles that you kind of face with it. So what's some of the negative stuff that you have received since you started doing VTubing?
People are just weird to Lalafels, so that comes
Yeah.
to
Yeah, and that just comes out even more for you guys.
yeah.
Fuck you, Lala.
What? I'm not a Lala hater.
Frosty is a Lala hater.
I'm not a Lala hater. All right, look, I'm
This has
not.
to do with the Satan worshipping, doesn't it?
It is kind of
Yeah.
a little bit, you know, the sacrifices. It's just like a perfect never mind. Anyways,
Are you baking the potatoes and then cutting them open? Is that the
Wait,
ritual
we're on
sacrifice?
to you. We're on to.
This is how you clear raid fights, though. Sacrifice the Popoto, win fight.
No, I've legit had people come into my stream and be like, I just can't even watch this because I feel like a pedophile, and I'm like,
Who said
is
that?
so messed
Weird,
up.
though.
No, I've heard it from multiple people.
That doesn't make sense.
It's
No,
not
it-
even like an isolated incident thing. I'm like, that's so weird.
On that
It's something you
same
see a lot
note,
everywhere.
I think people feel like people don't have as many boundaries because they think you're like not a real person, so they'll say a lot more offensive stuff because they're saying it to like a character rather than a person.
mm-hmm.
It's really obnoxious.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of weird. So I mean, in the whole thing, with just like kind of creepy comments about just Lalas in general, I can see people like just doing that to just be shitty and be like over exaggerating and like I don't know, just trying to get a reaction. I mean, a lot of it comes down to people trying to get a reaction, I think. But there are people who
For
have
sure.
like, oh, if you do VTubing, oh, that's cringe. I'm like, are you stupid? It's cringy hearing you talk about that stuff. And being like weird and awkward over this shit in like the day and age we live in.
Yeah, I think it's just really how people express it. Like, I mean, I know at first, when I wasn't used to watching VTubers, or Where sometimes I'd click on a stream and be like, it doesn't like feel. I don't know. I didn't really want to watch it because I didn't like get it as much. And people like Kiri said will come and be like, hey, like it's just not really my thing, and like that's no worries. It's just totally different when people come in and start like attacking you. You're like, why?
Actually, I'm kind of curious for Kai. Do people attack you because like they expect you to be a girl or something?
I play on it, and I just say I'm a male cat girl, and it's just I roll with it, and I'm like,
Heck
wait,
yeah.
you don't like a male cat girl? What's wrong with you? Kind of thing. Like, so it doesn't really bother me.
On that note, I actually had someone last night. Like I usually have like a pretty bubbly. I'm really energetic usually, but last night I was super tired, and someone was like trying to insinuate that I wasn't genuine and that I'm actually faking everything because my voice sounded a little different because I was tired, and it was really rude.
Yeah.
I was just tired.
People are fucking just assholes.
I think it just depends on your sensitivity levels. Like I play up pretty hard on like my chat will know heart necklace, stuff like that. So I go pretty I let my chat be a little bit degenerate and stuff like that, and I just try and play it up. So I think it's just it comes down to is like what is your comfort level of like bouncing off chat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just say fuck you. And then I move on.
Yeah, usually I just ban and move on. But I think for me, even without the VTuber thing, a lot of people have issue with my voice. Like, a lot. Every single time.
It's stupid.
I just get used to it. Just get used to it after a while.
Yeah, you get comments like that about the VTube avatar, like it doesn't match the voice, or
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
What does
yeah,
that
that
What?
one.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
or things like, I bet that's not what you really look like. Like, wow, no shit.
Yeah, I've had
You're
people make
not a
comments
cat
like,
boy.
you sound like you look like this. Like I've had that before, and I'm
What?
like,
That makes no sense whatsoever.
And you sound like an asshole.
Yeah.
Is that what you look like?
Yeah. And that's fucking. I guess that's the last thing in the, because you have the graphical representation of yourself, but the voice part doesn't really change. It's still your natural voice, right? I mean, you can make voices. I can assume that if you're making a voice the entire time you're streaming over like a 7-hour period, that's kind of tough. I don't know for me because I can't do voices at all.
Yeah, you know, I really just
Don't want people to know my real voice.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Let
let
me
them know that I know.
I don't even know what this character would actually sound like.
I want to get a new like soundboard so I can literally just make my voice even deeper just to mess with people.
That would be
That would be
amazing.
so great.
Yeah.
You know, fucking shit. That is something that eventually maybe you think that people are going to start using voice changers now just to be like that extra layer of security online.
sure.
Some of
Yeah.
them are really legit now. Like I remember back in the day they were so bad, but a lot of them are really good now.
There was actually.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Stal.
No, I just wanted to say I don't think it's a huge issue if people want to use a voice changer too.
No,
I think
No,
a lot of
it's not.
people
I think it's
take
fine.
offense to that, but it's like, who the fuck cares?
yeah.
Yeah.
So what?
Like on that note, I think it's like really important too. Like I think VTubing can be a really great avenue for people trying to explore their identity too. Like so it doesn't matter. Like let people enjoy what they enjoy.
Yeah, like I know that even for me, I was considering changing my my whole setups that I was like more like an Android character at one point. I was like, oh, I could actually use a voice changer then. And I know that there are people that do that already, but it's so much more like accessible and easy to use too for like voice changers and things like that. And it would probably stop people from going, that's not what you actually sound like, is it?
Sometimes people mistake you changing their perception of you as you being fake, like just because like you are like trying something different or like maybe exploring a different facet of your personality, like just because they see you in a different way, they're like, oh well, now you're just like putting on a front. But I mean, everybody is like so deep. Like everybody has like a lot of like different parts of them, and maybe they don't even know yet. So
It's true. It's true. You're kind of exploring your own personality too with that. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's the voice changing thing. By the way, I wanted to go on a little bit. Stal, because you're talking about how your voice is kind of unique. Do you think that you'll ever try to do a voice change just to do that, or do you want to do it? Oh, so you might actually do it.
I want to sound like Zemo. Then my cosplay will be complete.
I bet there is. I bet there is a Xeno.
Wait, you're not Zemo?
Oh.
Are you not Xeno using a voice changer right now?
I'm wind up Zemo.
Oh, okay, I get you. You want to sound like you don't want to be wind up Zemo anymore. Okay.
Yeah, I wanna upgrade.
Real
Alright.
Zemo.
Real Zemo.
Yeah.
We can find a way to make that happen.
Oh heck yeah!
We'll find the way. We have the technology.
Oh my god. Well, technically, I think we do. Okay. All right. So there was something else. Oh yeah, the character overall part. Like some of the really, really big VTubers from like the Hollow Live stuff, they are 100% like full characters, right? They are going out there and they're like extremely popular because of who their character is and the personality they're bringing and how they interact and everything else there. I don't think all of you are doing the character. I mean, it's like a slight moderation from your own personality, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Slight alteration from your actual personality. Or your true personality.
The world may never know.
Well, okay.
We'll
Never
never
mind.
know. I function off 2 brain cells as my character and in real life.
Oh, okay.
That's a mood.
Double mind. You're double mind.
I just gain streamer brain when I'm on stream, so
Yeah.
that's my streamer personality. Is I have streamer brain.
A whole 2.
A whole 2, yeah. So what's really funny is on this show, I might have 2 brain cells, but if I go on like another podcast or anything else, I don't know. I just get like 2 times stupider. Like I don't know what it is.
They have.
Me brain, no thinky.
I don't know if it's just being in like a different environment that I'm not used to or whatever else. I'm just like I feel like an idiot every single time.
You're supposed to bring your charger with you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh yeah.
Oh, anyways, that whole character. Do we have anyone who's like a character in the Final Fantasy 14 community that's like completely, obviously 100% a different character?
I don't think so right now, do we?
Not that I can list off the top of my head. No.
To be fair, I do think even with Hololive, they do like still like don't go completely into character most of the time. Like they definitely do have like they're like facing on right, but like they still talk about real life stuff. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I mean they have to talk about something, and as we all know, when you're on stream, you're just either going to be talking about what's happening and whatever you're doing, or you're going to be talking about stuff that's going on in real life. And even for like the Hololive characters, when they do their reveals and everything, when they list the likes and the dislikes of their the characters that they're making, I find it hard to believe. But this is also just me ranting about this. I find it hard to believe that a god of time would be interested in anime and manga, but you know what? That's fine. It's totally cool. I can relate to them now.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like raiding with Nest in a way, because a lot of the members of Nest have a lot of like quirks that people really like that they definitely lean into, including myself. And like part of that comes from your own personality, and part of it is like just what's fun and kind of plays off, but like you're still being yourself. Because like I don't know. I mean, it's when you're streaming, you're on so much. It's not like you're like being an actor in a movie or something where you have a script and like you have a certain time and you're like acting something. When you're like on stream, you're constantly going and constantly talking. And I think it would be very rare to find someone who could play a character for that long, that consistently, and not like let their own personality come through.
Wait, you don't have a script?
My AI programming is perfect.
Oh yeah, just wait for an AI. There we go. We're gonna have an AI streamer soon. That's the technology.
I am an AI.
You'll never know the difference.
You know, it reminds me of that super famous musician in Japan. What was the name? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? That's not a real person, but was a character, and they did a hologram of her.
Are you talking about like Hatsune?
Kizuna
Hatsune,
Ai?
yeah.
Is that yeah? That
Hatsune
sounds.
Miku?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of now I'm forgetting what they're called. I feel so bad.
Vocaloid stuff?
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
Ah,
Domino's
Vocaloid, yeah.
Pizza Hatsune Miku.
What? But yeah, no, that was there, and so, you know, is there a concern of, you know, there being an AI streamer, and would that be a big deal in the future?
That exists. So
No?
Okay.
I mean, it'd be pretty cool. I don't know.
Hey, there was a stream a while
I'd
back
be
where
into
there was two, like, there was a Google Android or Google like box thing or whatever, the live assistant thing, talking to like an Alexa, and they were like going back and forth. Like that was the stream. So hey, that's the future.
Yeah.
isn't Kizuna AI like totally AI or
No.
No.
oh, it's a real person?
Yeah.
They actually I think there's multiple people behind it now because it's like some personality change or something. Like I don't know. I stopped watching that as much, but so I don't know the latest.
It makes me think of stuff like Twitch plays Pokemon.
Yeah.
And sort of that feeling of stuff. Or you can also go on the other end of the spectrum where they just try to make it seem like a mascot is the one playing the game. When I remember Chuck E. Cheese and Fall Guys.
Oh god.
What?
Yeah. Oh, the Chuck E. Cheese mascot was apparently playing Fall Guys and streaming it for a couple weeks.
That sounds kind of creepy.
Oh.
It was very creepy. There's a clip of him going very close to the mic and like just whispering in Poggers. It was very
I don't know. I had a very good visualization of that second that just you're expressing to me, and so thank you.
That's nightmarish.
Yeah, that's real nightmarish. So that being said, I do know, you know, I did see before, I can't think VTubing kind of picked up a little bit. There's this one, the hand puppet kind of thing that did a lot of stuff. What is Benny? Is that right?
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He
I'm not sure about.
Yeah, he did a lot of Final Fantasy 14, or he did some Final Fantasy 14 for a while. It's just someone controlling like a Muppet or one of the puppets or something, you know, and just kind of playing video games and stuff.
Yeah, they would even walk around TwitchCon with the hand puppet.
Really?
Yeah.
Commitment.
Holy shit.
That's them.
That's fucking amazing. I guess that does go into a whole nother point. Is like we don't have to deal with that right now because we're all just completely home. But what happens when we get back to real life, right? Does VTubing, like, is that people meeting their VTubers in real life going to be like a weird situation?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. It'll be
A
awkward.
little bit.
My
Yeah,
immersion.
like meet me at a convention. You notice that I have
Hey,
no hair.
it's me. Like purple
What,
cat girl.
Stal? You
anime.
don't have pink hair?
Cannot believe this.
Xyros, you have no hair at all. What is this?
Oh my god.
There's gonna
Scare
be
people.
a
I actually have
mixture
hands.
of people like kind of dressing up like they're VTubers and like kind.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, I would wear this hoodie. Come on.
I mean, have you thought about that yet? I guess like I'm assuming any of you, when FanFest is live in 2022, 2023, you're gonna go if you can. I would think, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you started
Maybe-
thinking about how you're going to appear at these events? No. Did I just open
No.
up a box?
I've thought about it. I'm like, damn. I need to work off those 15 pounds from COVID first.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
more what it is.
I feel you on that, man. I really do.
When people realize I look more like Xeno, they'll be very scared.
Oh man. You know, you could come up and like hey, that reminds me, Kai. I remember when I first met you and Noriko at FanFest, and you're doing like a gold saucer thing, and you gave me like a gold saucer scratch off. That was a while back. Holy shit. I don't know.
I'll have her go for me in my place. There we go.
Okay. I think she will be there no matter what, because she has.
Maybe.
Yeah. But that being said, you know, going up and presenting it, maybe you could go like in a big like mascot costume, like a full, like, you know, full one suit, whatever you call it. I don't know what you call it. That's like covering up, and it looks kind of like your character. I guess you could do that. Although, I mean, I guess that kind of sucks for Lala's, right? Because there's, I don't know what.
What do we do about the height?
Yeah.
Sophie, time to lose your kneecaps.
I'm not that short, unfortunately.
Yeah. You could get like, you know, one of those little things that roll around, like, God, what is it called? Like a floor dolly or whatever that doesn't have like the handles or anything. Just like sit on it and then have like a dress going down and just kind of float around.
Well, that's smart. Yeah.
This is
We're
you
gonna
get a robot, attach an iPad to it, display your VTuber through that. You're
that
somewhere
was the
else
thing
in
that
another
happened.
location.
Kai has the best idea.
That
I like that.
happened.
They
Yeah.
have those, like Twitch has those.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Okay,
We'll just
explain
have to
this more
like
to me.
set up like booths and just only speak to people and not be seen.
They actually did a Twitch event. I was gonna take part in it, but then I had back issues, so I was at the doctor. But they basically had these like computer robot things in like this big house mansion. This was like a few months ago. And like
Oh.
each streamer could control one, and they put their webcam on like the front of it, and you drive it around and get to like find goodies in like the house.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Holy
You know,
shit.
actually, now thinking about this, I think there was a VTuber, I want to say it was Project Melody, that did a walk around Japan. So
Yeah, with
someone put like a iPad on the guy put an iPad on his face and he was like in a suit,
Mhm.
and then she would be projected on his face or something like that.
Whoa.
It was
that's crazy.
interesting.
That is crazy. Well, we're getting there, right? I guess we're getting the technology to virtually be present, but physically at the same time. Well, holy fuck. Well, maybe by the time FanFest comes, that technology will be there. Do they give a badge to like the robot that's going around with your face, and you just have the badge?
Just have a name tag.
Yeah. Jeez. All right. More VTubing stuff. And so I guess
Actually, hold on.
Go ahead.
That's
Sure.
free entrance though, Frosty, because you can you only need one person to actually get inside. So just you can have a cart, someone pushing a cart through FanFest with just a bunch of VTubers on, and then you
Yeah.
only one person actually has to pay to get in.
Ooh.
There we go.
Yeah.
Stonks.
Stalls.
That's big brain thinking, dude.
Stonks.
Stonks.
Oh, stonks.
Big money earning saving.
Yeah.
The big
Oh.
That's those brain cells at work.
Yeah.
You can see
Streamer brain cells working hard.
the VTuber Dalek going around the convention, and you can have like multiple screens on it, and just like their faces, and it's just like turn. Oh my god.
That's the true collab.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I could
The
just
IRL collab.
you can just stay home and just watch everything.
Yeah.
Just hanging out with 30 other people on this giant board.
Oh, I love it. All right. So let's kind of what other things do we want to talk about with VTubing in Final Fantasy XIV? Are there other things on your mind that you're like just wanting to talk about when it comes to VTubing?
Head empty.
I just exist.
Okay.
There's one thing that I remember because this is actually kind of recent, and a lot of people ended up commenting on this. It was a thing about how there's like specific ways to VTube, and how we're moving away from these specific ways, and how much like it's kind of like you need to not be this pretty person off screen. People who VTube are average looking. That's some weird
What?
tweet that I saw.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
No,
one.
if you're not, it was like if you're not a real anime looking girl in real life, then you shouldn't be pretending to be like an anime girl or
Yeah,
something.
and they're like, there's all these people who do VTubing and they don't have characters for their VTuber, and I'm like, bruh, there's so many ways that you can go about doing this now. You don't need to have some full crazy story. You can just do it because you like making a little character.
Yeah, there was someone that was getting upset at people for posting real life selfies because they were like, "You're
Oh
ruining my immersion."
Yeah.
But I feel
Yeah.
so bad for them because some of them ended up getting doxxed.
Oof, that's messed up.
Yeah.
The people who were complaining about it got doxxed, or the people who they were complaining about got doxxed?
The people who posted their picture.
Oh.
in
Yeah.
response to that?
Basically, a
What?
bunch of people were posting their like selfies or pictures of themselves, like because this person had in like response, they're like basically doing the exact opposite of what he was saying not to do.
Mhm.
So those people end up getting doxxed that were like kind of like agitating the person.
Oh,
Mhm.
jeez.
Oh gosh, I almost posted my picture in a quote tweet to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a
Mhm,
lot of people
same.
who quote tweeted that ended up getting doxxed on another forum or something.
Oh jeez.
Ooh, crazy people.
Fucking crazy people. And this is why VTubing is great, guys. It makes one layer go away of this bullshit that you have to put up with when you're on the internet. Because there is so many good things about streaming. There's so many good things about being present on the internet and, you know, having a good time with people and chat and feeling like a part of a community and everything else. But there's always going to be people who try to make shitty shit happen. God damn it. That being said, I'm trying to think of the other thing that I was... The whole, like, hey, you have to be... You're there's a couple of different negative perceptions of it, right? They're like, oh, I want you to be representing someone that is who you are in real life, which is the whole thing where people have issues with guys playing girl characters, right? And they're upset with that every single time.
I question it every single time that comes up, and I'm like, have you played an MMO? Have you been on the internet with like anime avatars? Like, do you really think everyone looks like that? Like, what are you thinking?
Yes, they
What
are
world
all
are you in?
Wibbed.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, that's the big thing in Final Fantasy XIV, is there is a lot of cat girls. You can't assume that every single... I guarantee you, every single cat girl is not a cat girl. You know, in
People
real life.
sometimes get upset when they want to sexualize your character, and then you make them uncomfortable in some way doing so. They're like, dang it, why this? Yeah.
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 So that being said, Kira, you probably talk on that a little bit, right? Do people give you a lot of shit about your character?
I mean, not in the sense of like, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking.
Oh, okay. That people.
Um,
All right. So your character, definitely, and
Has big assets? Yes.
big assets that move around, right?
Yeah, got a lot of physics.
Right. Has some physics to it and everything else. Do you feel like people give you shit for that?
I feel like some people, like, I've had situations where some people have definitely not know like the boundaries. Like, I've had someone on my like message me DM wise and like be like, "Hey, big fan of your stream. I'm really into like, you know, sexualizing your VTuber model." And I was just like, "Yeah, please don't." I was like, "That's really uncomfortable, and I'm not okay with that." Like,
Right.
people have crossed pretty weird boundaries with it, and I think it's because they don't have that. Like, most people wouldn't say that to another person, right? Like, for the most part,
Yikes.
but because you're just a avatar, they don't have that same, like, I don't know, moral
Yeah.
thing.
You know what? I don't think it's, you know, you being an avatar. They just don't think you're a real person no matter what, right? You're just some...
Yeah, it can definitely get a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was almost like one of the nice things about becoming a VTuber, is that when people do form those incredibly weird parasocial relationships that they will do generally anyway. Not saying it's okay, like you should not do that, but at least I get less affected when someone's doing it at my VTuber. Like,
Versus
able to
you.
handle it with a better head rather than being like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it
Just
would make me
me.
really weird about myself when it was before. At least we can kind of disassociate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the most part, most people are pretty respectful of it. It's only been a handful of times where people have made weird comments like that and been creepy and been very upfront about their intentions. And at that point, I'm just like, yeah, you're go away. You're not welcome here.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I can't stop watching your ears. Like, they're fucking twitching.
Sorry,
like,
they're linked to everything. My blinking, my eyebrows.
like, holy shit.
It might only move if I start like wiggling my head a lot.
That's still pretty good. Yeah, Kai has the moving ears too. I feel the jealousy coming from Stal and Spofie here.
Mine
Mine
do move.
moves.
Oh, they do
Just-
move. Oh,
they
there
do.
we
Just a
go.
little bit.
Oh yeah,
Wiggle,
okay,
wiggle.
I see it.
I'm
Time
not
to everybody
jealous.
wiggle. Can your
Everybody
ears wiggle, Frosty?
Hold on. Nope. Stationary
Dang.
fucking ears. You know? I need to get an advanced model.
whole head.
We got him, fellas.
Kai has like every single strand of hair moves. It's amazing.
Yeah, I love Kai's model.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Nice.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. But all right. Other things about VTubing in general that it's definitely worth the discussion here to talk about while you guys have a chance. I mean, this is like, you know, Hollow live Final Fantasy 14 right now, right?
There's a lot less screaming.
We could make it more screamy.
Oh, is it usually like a lot of screaming? I actually haven't watched
A lot.
Hollow live. I have
A
to.
lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of yelling.
Well, so was it just like excitement? Like, hey, I see you all. We're excited for seeing each other, kind of thing.
It's I don't even know how to. It's just chaotic energy.
Yeah, a lot of them scream very loudly. They get very frantic.
Okay.
They have an astounding amount of energy.
All right. Are you saying Final Fantasy 14 streamers and VTubers don't have a lot of energy?
Oh, I do.
Oh,
I'm just
no,
on
no,
my
they
best
do.
behavior.
It's just
Yeah, it's the behavior right now thing.
yeah,
I don't think you want to see bad behavior.
It's also put into different areas when you put the energy into different places. But yeah, there are definitely moments where people go completely batshit crazy.
Okay. But I mean, people love that. That's kind of like what they're expressing their character, and everybody's excited to see them be excited on screen, right? No.
Yeah, some people like it, some people don't. I'm a pretty like low energy person in general, so I figure people who come to my stream like that. Some
like to
people
chill.
don't like that. Some people do.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that too. Like the type of person I am is I just don't react to things. I don't get excited for things. I mean, I am like inside. I'm like, oh, that's really cool and everything, but I'm just like, you know, very mild.
Yeah, I'm the same way. My parents used to get really mad at me as a kid because like I wouldn't get excited enough about things, and they would think I like wasn't grateful.
Oh
and I
my
was
god.
Yo, I know how
You're
that
just
feels.
chilling. You're just vibing.
It's like, what? You're not happy with this new present you got? I'm like, I am happy.
I
am happy.
I'm just not screaming because I don't scream. I don't know.
Yeah.
When you got the
Ah,
Nintendo
mother.
64, you weren't screaming like.
Okay,
in
there are
excitement?
exceptions.
Nintendo 64!
There are exceptions, and like the first GameCube is an exception.
Okay. But
I'm
you're-
super high energy. I just when I'm around people I haven't talked to much before, like I get really anxious, so I'm just a little more quiet than normal.
That's fair. You know.
Like, hey guys.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. So
I'm
what
here.
what you want, Frosty, in your VTuber is you want Arthas to get a VTuber then. Is that the type of
He already
energy
has
that you're looking for?
waifu.
Doesn't
There
he
you
have
go.
one?
He has Arthurina.
Wait, he does?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
He doesn't use it all the time, but he does.
It's
I
in
think it
his
does exist.
it's in his point redemption.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's spreading, guys.
It's spreading. It's everywhere, dude. Like, honestly,
That's been a long time though. He's had a long time.
yeah. God,
Yeah, gosh, Frost, you're not keeping up with the Arthur stream.
I'm so fucking old and just outdated, and I'm just a dinosaur. I'm gonna get extinct soon, man. Oy, that's all right. You know, I have thought about it though. I have thought about it being a VTuber myself and just like doing that instead because it feels so much better. It really does. To feel like go
It
ahead.
would fit MogTalk so well. Come on. Like look, you have the Moogles over there. Just be your big beefy Moogle Geltor Rogadin.
Make him
okay?
buff.
Yeah.
Buff
make him
Moogle.
buff.
Buffest Moogle ever.
Buffest Moogle.
So I just realized how those Moogles are like perfectly around my fucking head, and I love it.
I think
So
you're
right.
infected. It's coming soon.
Yeah, I would, you know, I maybe that's where some of the MogTalk funds will go. You know, by the way, for people who are watching the show and everything else, like all the Patreon stuff, all the like the subs and everything else, just goes into like a PayPal that off onto the side that like eventually I'll put it towards something streamer related, but it doesn't like a lot of that stuff. None of that really hits me personally. So maybe one day I can use that to go forward and do some VTubing stuff if people really
So,
want.
so what Frosty is telling all you guys in chat right now,
Mhm.
use your Twitch Primes right now on
Right
Frosty
now.
_TV. Give Frosty all of your free Twitch Primes. It's just sitting there doing nothing. Come on, hurry up. Give it to Frosty.
Nice.
Clap,
We've
clap. Let's
got
see it
to
happen.
upgrade
Come on.
Frosty. We
Make
need
it
the
snappy.
model.
I'll
We
be
need
a
it.
VTuber. Yeah. Maybe that should
Fulfill
be a goal.
The dream.
And then, to be honest with you, this whole situation right now.
That's what we
where
like to see.
Yes.
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 There you go. It's got $6
Hype
so far.
train.
Hype train.
Hype
Choo,
train for the
choo.
VTuber live.
train.
Oh
Woo-hoo.
my god. You guys don't. Oh no.
Make it
Come on,
real.
you guys can
Make
do it. You guys can do it.
Make it rain,
Do
Make
it.
Frosty a VTuber.
Now do your best VTuber scream.
What would a VTuber scream be for me? I don't even know.
Koopo.
I can't do a
Catchphrase.
deep voice. I can
Frosty
do a
catchphrase.
Frosty
No,
catchphrase. Just stay for. I fucking love
Just
that.
try and find a voice changer. So you'll get the big beefy Moogle, right?
Yeah.
And instead, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get the most high pitched voice changer you can find for a Moogle. So you're gonna be literally a chipmunk.
You have to say, you have to say Koopa a lot though.
I can't do it. I can't do hype. Like I can't. All I
Do
can do
it.
is a mix.
Do it.
Is that good?
Oh my goodness.
That's good.
That was adorable.
That was perfect. You're already a pro.
I'm already a
Yeah,
pro
either that or
VTuber.
you just-
There you go.
Either that or you just go the complete opposite end of that route and you just make it as deep as
I
possible.
can't do deep voices either. Just
like-
"Google." No, I can't.
Yeah, it's like poo poo.
That's good too.
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah, the Frosty VTuber stuff. Maybe one day when I made this, like when we came, like almost a year. Holy shit! It's been like a year since I came back from going and doing MogTalk again. When we came back, I changed the layout of the show and everything else. And the reason I changed it to the way it was, where it's like screen separately, and I'm kind of on a green screen here in the scene, is because I want it to be Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Maybe one day we can do a Final Fantasy 14 Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Am I showing my age again by talking about Space Ghost?
No, I'm in the same age group. Wait a
I'm
minute.
in the same age group.
Okay,
Oh,
I don't know.
sorry.
Talk show. Space Ghost. A superhero from
Zoidberg.
outer space. Yeah.
Oh, not Zoidberg. Oh my god, what was his name?
Zoidberg is a
Mantis,
Mantis,
completely
not
different
Zoidberg.
show.
I don't know why the Z name. I don't remember it.
Great. I was gonna say Voltron. That's not right.
is that an American thing?
It's
Yes.
an Adult
It
Swim.
was on Cartoon
Do you know what
Network.
Adult Swim is? For
No.
Toonami.
Zorak.
I have
Zorak.
no idea.
Yeah. It's
There
an
was,
American
like-
thing. Yeah.
It was like an American cartoon, and then I think it did poorly, so they repurposed the character as the
Talk show host.
talk show host.
Oh.
And there was Moltar.
Moldar?
Moltron or something.
Moltar, there we go.
Yeah. And there's the guy that was the cat. What was his name?
Oh,
Brack. Yeah, he had his own spin-off show.
Yeah.
Oh, look it up, Stal. Just look it up. And you can see how old and boring I am.
Yeah, I don't know it either. Stop.
You don't know it either?
I don't either.
No.
No,
Oh, no.
I don't.
Before my
We have some
time.
educating to do.
Yeah.
Hey, that was kind of like a VTuber, right?
Yeah.
It was the first VTuber, maybe, in some
Oh
way.
my god.
Oh my gosh, you're right. It was
thought that
because
was
he was just a
Annoying
talk show
Orange.
host.
Right?
Wait, the annoying orange? No.
They just didn't have real time capture at the time, so they had to draw it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was the hardcore
PNG
VTubing.
Gotta know your roots.
Anyways, yeah, no, we went into a whole nother thing, and now I might have to do VTubing in the future. We'll see. I'd be up for it. I just feel like going through the process and learning all that stuff. The older I get, the less I want to learn. It's just
It's
so
not
much.
that hard, Frosty.
But by then it'll
Someone
be
can
so
help you real
easy.
quickly.
Yeah, by then it'll be so easy that it'd be like riding a bike with training wheels.
Okay. By then, when is then?
Whenever you get the model finished.
Okay. All right, that's fair. All right. Holy shit! I didn't turn off some browsers, like some sound, by the way, and it just like blew up on everybody. So I'm very sorry. It was some sort of alert. I don't know what alert it was.
Uh-oh.
Everyone awake
Oh,
now?
no, everybody good. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix that just in case. I don't know.
Welcome to MogTalk, where you get your ears blown up.
Yeah, holy shit. Oh, you guys didn't hear anything? Maybe I'm lucky. Maybe it's okay. All right, if you guys didn't hear anything, then I'm not going to worry about it. It's just me losing my ears. That being said, okay, more things about VTubing. We've talked about a whole bunch. We've talked about, getting into VTubing, the community in general for Final Fantasy XIV, or globally overall, kind of the price range, the equipment, some of the stuff that you guys hear, kind of in a general, I guess, setting when you're VTubing, some of the stuff that people may say or whatever. What else about VTubing that you think that people might want to know that they don't know right now? They may not know.
I think a lot of people want to know exactly how much it costs. I'm pretty sure.
There's no
not like an
exactly
answer
right?
though. It can literally be anywhere from, like $50 to thousands.
Yeah, I try to describe that to people, but they always want like a price range, but it really is just any amount.
Yeah.
It really is.
I don't know about y'all. I'm pretty comfortable sharing how much mine
Yeah.
costs. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not
I'm
like
okay. So.
it's not. I guess it's a really good disclaimer to say that like that has no. It's like commissioning art. Like there's no real indicator of what each artist is gonna charge. I think my original VTuber was like $800 total before I like added other expressions and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I started around 1100. I have a full model though.
Yeah, mine.
And you can go for like the half models, which are more affordable as well.
So does that include, by the way, real quick, does that include like all the equipment around that helps make it happen, cameras, whatever?
No, that's for art and rig only.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it also depends on if your modeler is this right. Sorry, your rigger is the same person as the person who does your art. So there's like some people like for in Spofie's case and my original model's case, like it was Tenko and she did the rigging and the model, right? So but in like this model's case, I had a completely separate artist from the rigger. So I had to hire two separate people. And then also coordinate between the two people to like get it set up.
Is it difficult to coordinate?
I know now, mine, they like talk to each other now, so not really for me.
I actually went to two people that had worked previously together, and that was more why. I was actually scared to work with like a rigger that didn't work with the artist kind of thing, and I that was a major concern of mine.
Yeah.
So I guess because someone made up a really good point, is that my face looks like one that doesn't understand rigging and what that really means and what that is. And that's true. Could you explain to me about rigging?
That's what makes it move.
They're like
Yeah.
motions that will happen when the like iPhone or the webcam tracks that motion. They have to literally preset like motion parameters, I guess, like point A to B that it will follow.
Yeah, it's like every strand of hair that's moving and everything that you see moving is all done by rigging. So you have to rig the individual like parts of it, I guess.
Do they need like you involved in that with that?
No,
Or is it
No.
it's all through a program for it. Like they have to like separate each item, like the strand of hair, and then say at point A, this is what it will do. If it moves to point B, like your head moves to point B, this is what that will do. It's really complicated.
So the technology, my understanding of it, and when I've seen people rig it, and Nari did a little bit of rigging for it. It's like imagine how like the animators imagine how like you make a 3D model and there's like polygons, like, and then you like map a texture onto the polygons. It's kind of like the same thing in like 2D in a way, and then you're like deforming like those polygons to make like everything work. But that's used through like Live 2D is the program to do that. Yeah, that's.
Is it something difficult for you to learn how to do yourself, or is it
Yes,
something?
it will take
It's
a lot
very
of time.
difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's definitely like, I mean, you know, it's like any skill, I think, where people can do like kind of basic stuff, and then there's people with more experience who, you know, can make things like more advanced looking and stuff. And
There's a lot more tutorials now than there were a year ago. People were very secretive about their techniques for a while.
Also, one thing to think, like the actual models are cut up into very, very little pieces. So it's not like you're taking like a flat image and you're animating it. It's actually like for example, my hat is probably like over like 100 pieces.
Really?
yeah, that's usually,
Yeah, I have so many layers.
yeah, that's usually like when they like kind of work together. I mean, I've seen people who like, you know, do rig, like they can just take a picture and like, you know, make it kind of animated in a way by like rigging it. But I figure that's much harder than having the pieces to do it with.
They can do really cool stuff too. Like I have sparkles in my skirt.
That's awesome.
So like it actually glows, but it's just like layers.
How like do people see those sparkles often? Like I don't know how much you show of your.
I do it in just starting screen.
Oh, okay. That's crazy. All right. Well, okay. So Spofie, Kiri, you guys said kind of how much you spent on it. Do we want to go down a list here, or does everybody want to say that?
I have the addiction, so I've actually spent more than upwards of like over $2,000 now.
Okay. That's not bad.
I can give a price range. I'm not going to give the exact amount because I don't even know if that's accurate anymore because I know my artists raise their prices. But the art alone was around 2,000, and then the rigging was over 1,000. So
okay, Kai's the winner at the moment. Yeah, Stal, how much did it cost for your beard?
The art is free, but my model and rigging, it's by the same person, and when I commissioned them, I was the very first client. So mine cost about 1,500-ish.
Okay.
Oh man, I made off like a bandit.
$80 for zero.
Yeah, because it was the person's first time doing it, and they were also my friends, so they really undercut it.
So Xyros, you would say try to go out there and find someone who wants to get into it and then abuse their generosity.
Oh yeah, of course.
My artist, this was her first model too, so she did it for half the price that she charges now.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it is hard, and I kind of sensed when Kai was talking about it too. Even talking about your own artist pricing feels a little weird because oftentimes, you know, they get more clients and they have to raise their prices, and so you don't want to say, "Oh yeah, mine was $800," and you don't want someone to go to your artist and be like, "Well, I heard Spofie's was $800, so why are you charging $1,000?" You know, it really sucks when people do that.
Yeah. That's why I'm like really hesitant to tell people sometimes because I don't want to get their expectations because like I basically got my pricing in about a year before I actually got the model because I was like it was like right in about when it was like getting hyped up, but like my previous model, like I was probably a little bit before the hype, and also it was the first model Tenko had done, and well, besides her own, but I got it quite a bit cheaper. So like, and when I hear Spofie's price, it's like, but Spofie's is like, I don't like saying this, but like Spofie's is like where Kenko got a lot better, obviously, than my original. But like obviously that like the more artist develops, the more they're gonna raise their prices, or they should, I would hope. And also it depends on demand at the time, you know.
Right. So go ahead.
And like my artist, it was her first VTuber, and she said over time she realized just how much like time it consumed for her, so she had to raise the prices to compensate for just how much time it would take her after she learned more and whatnot and got into it. So
how long does it normally take for it to be created, the art and the rigging?
Minimum, I mean, art alone, it took my artist like weeks.
Okay.
Some people wait months.
I think my process started back in April for this one, then took until August.
Yeah, it can take months.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know how long mine took, but it does take a while. Yeah, I mean, people think like, oh wow, like $1,000+, that's a lot, but like when it takes over a month of work, it's really not.
It's
Right.
Yeah.
full time. I mean, it's a full time job, or on top of their whatever other job they're doing at the time, or other models or whatever they're making, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's major technical skill to be able to make these things in the first place. It's not just normal art. Like even art in itself is like obviously super like creative, and you need a lot of skill to accomplish, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're getting even more niche into the like down like the art path, you know, or even technical path when it comes to rigging.
Yeah. Yeah, and absolutely shout out to all the artists and everyone who actually is doing this, because artists are fucked over more than almost any other person making content in the world.
Tip your artists if they do a good job.
Yeah.
100%.
It's insane how much they get like abused overall in general, just by not getting. I mean, there are situations, right? It's not always like that, like what I'm talking about, but there are a lot of people who just treat them like shit, and don't do that.
Entitled.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I will say is be very like if anyone ever does get into VTubing, be very careful with your model, because people can steal it and then try and replicate it. They'll or people will like steal your designs and stuff like that. So if you go on the higher end, be very careful. I mean, even on the, like, you don't want your design even on the you don't want your design at all taken in general. But like, if you're investing a lot of money into something, just be really careful with the assets. Like, I know I've seen people at one point, they were like actually like their people were posting like their cut up model pieces, but someone could then
don't
go
do that.
rig that. Someone could then go rig that and then basically have your model at that point. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. And
Wow.
if you're gonna get into VTubing, make sure you like do research on who you commission. When VTubing first really got like blowing up in the last year or so, there was a lot of people scamming or tracing and stuff like that. So definitely be careful on who you commission.
I learned this too. If you have a 3D model and you don't want it stolen, don't upload it to VR chat.
Yep.
Oh.
People will strip the model from a VR chat, because you literally
Yeah.
have to load up the data. So they'll have like a plugin that like if they see you in VR chat, they have to get that data so they know what you look like, right? So it has to download what your model looks like, all the textures, all that kind of stuff. It's sent to the VR chat, and people can just rip it down. So if you
No
spend a
thanks.
bunch of money on that, be careful.
Well, fuck. This is a lot of really good information.
It's scary.
Is there any kind of like drama or crazy stuff that goes in the background of VTubers or anything besides that? I mean, that's pretty bad itself.
In this community, I don't think really. Everyone's pretty respectful of each other.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen I've seen it like outside the Final Fantasy 14
Yeah.
community when it comes to VTubers, but not really in the 14 VTuber community.
I don't
Yeah,
think it's
within
any
the
different than people drama,
Yeah,
you know?
just normal
Yeah.
people drama.
Yeah. Well, like within the 14 VTubers, I don't really see that anywhere. I just see people kind of like having this respect for each other's models and everything,
Okay.
and
Like,
just enjoying the way we all look.
Stal. You're like,
So I guess this is a,
Stal's beard is very majestic.
do you have people come in and compliment your VTube work, like the way your VTuber looks, like a lot?
Sure.
And does that make you feel pretty good when they do that?
Yeah, I think that's a compliment to everything you're working on.
Yeah. Right. I'm just wondering if maybe that's what other VTubers do. Like they come in and they look like, oh, I love the way your hair moves. Oh, I love all this stuff. And
Yep.
Because this is all thought and work that you put into it, right? And you're proud of the avatar that you're using.
I try and shout out the people who make it, the art, and always
Yeah,
promote them
me
like as
too,
much
yeah.
as
Oh yeah,
possible.
100%.
I'm so
what you
proud of
should
them,
do.
you know?
Mm.
Yeah, that stuff's listed in my bio, and if anybody asks
Yeah.
me, I'm just like, boom, this is who did it. They're amazing. Go check them out.
I know my artist, she's just recently is starting on 2 new models after she did mine, and I'm like so proud because I'm like, yes, like we did it. We got you there.
Nice.
That's one thing that I was gonna say is nice is like, I guess at least in my case, like I've tried to always come and check out people like that are also made by like the artists and stuff like that. Like in the case of, like I think there's other like horrors made by Tenko as well. Like not this model, but like and then obviously Spofie, and like there's just like it's like almost like VTuber family.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
kind of.
Okay. So it's like everybody kind of knows each other a little bit through different people and artists and everything, and that way too.
Yep.
Okay. Is there going to be a Final Fantasy 14 Holo Live? Are you guys, or is there someone organizing anything like that?
I'll say the extent
Scary.
of this. The Ina I know talks about Final Fantasy 14 on her stream, but they've never streamed it, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. You could have like a VTuber convention or something, right? Where people could just come and bring their avatar and they could put it on the screen.
That's a lot of
Well, they do
trust.
that right now.
Do they?
Wait, no, like at a convention, like they have panels and stuff for VTubers now.
Wait a minute. I guess that's a good question. Do they just put up a screen of the
It's just a
VTuber?
projector.
Yeah.
Like it's just like if you have like a panel or something, it's just a VTuber up there instead. Like watching a Twitch stream, it's just live. I actually think there's one going on right now.
I might need to turn my physics down for that.
No.
My eyes are up here, chat.
I'm being honest with you. I look at the ears. 100%.
Yeah, did you-
My eyes are down here, chat.
Digikomi is the convention that's going on right now.
Digikomi. Okay. All
Snargus
right.
said it.
Well, I'm trying to think of what else to talk about with VTubing because I want to make sure that we cover it as well as we can before we go off because, I want it to have a VTuber because I get this every once in a while, by the way, and it like gets me, it bugs me. Like if I see like a random comment about, oh, VTuber had to turn off the show or something, I get like so pissed off and I'm like, I'm going to fucking just blow up and just do nothing but VTubing, man, because this is, fuck these people.
He's just gonna zoom.
I can't
Yeah.
wait. I can't
wait to see. I hope you get so into it and you just take on the buff form.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then you have to cosplay a buff Moogle at FanFest.
Okay, imagine this, Frosty. If you're the buff one, you get it in actually 3D, not 2D, okay?
Okay.
And you make sure that you have hand trackers, and you will punch at the screen, and then an effect on the screen will shatter their screen. So you're punching the screen over and over again with like an animation.
There is
While
a
screaming, "Hey, Frosty!"
God, stay Frosty. No.
Yeah.
It's vicious.
There is an image out there somewhere if I can find it from like I don't know how many years ago it was, but we were talking about like jobs that we wanted in the game, and I wanted like a dancer healer that like punched people and stuff, or like a melee healer. And
like Mistweaver Monk and
yeah. If I could find that image, I will get it again, but I have no clue if I can ever find it again because it's just one of those things that's lost in history probably. God damn it. I'll put it on Twitter later if I can find it. But yeah, I would be totally down for that. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, I was going to ask, since we're here at the last part, we're getting close to the end of the show. Is there anything else that you feel like we need to cover? Because we're not going to like have a VTuber show ever again. This was, this is it. This is done. We're never doing it again.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, no reunion. I see.
All of my
Kinda
new
rude.
friends.
Oh,
I
no.
can't believe this.
It's over.
Yo, we convert Frosty and then he just abandons us all.
It's
Yeah.
gone.
That's messed up.
Well,
No.
next time the requirement's going to be is Frosty has to have the VTuber by then. There's
Yeah,
it's a
exactly.
deadline now.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll give you 1 year.
He can review his experience of becoming the buff Moogle.
Yeah. So here's like,
We need a reunion.
a VTuber reunion. Yeah, we could do it.
Reunion.
Or we could just keep increasing like the show and how many people we have on the show too.
Oh my
And just have
god.
like
Oh, yeah.
more and more VTubers, just like this huge, just crazy
This
amount.
huge box.
The most I've ever had on a show was 29 people, I think.
Oh god.
I think we could do it.
Put Frosty in the middle and just a box of VTubers just circled around him.
It'll be like the Brady Bunch,
Yeah,
but with
exactly.
VTubers.
That would be really good. But yeah, no, that point I was making earlier where people were giving shit about like any kind of like VTuber stuff, and they're like, oh, I don't want to deal with this because VTuber, I'm out, whatever. It just encourages me so much to fight them and do more VTubing stuff with MogTalk and have more of it, because
That's what I like to hear.
because it's just like, fuck people who are just so stupid and like in their own little box. I really want to see the comments on this show on YouTube. I just want to do it.
Normalize VTubing.
I'm a big fan of
Yeah.
petty revenge, by the
By
way.
YouTube.
No, I saw it a lot on the last show I was on, where I was on my VTuber. I definitely saw people commenting about the VTuber, like, ew.
Yeah. Yeah,
like, what?
it's VTuber.
Oh, I love anime, but I hate this. Nasty.
Right. Such a stupid thing. But yeah,
It
no,
happens all the time.
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm ready for I'm ready for a VTuber setup. We'll see how that goes.
I will say, because we haven't really talked about this,
Yeah.
when you try doing stuff with, like, especially for me, just because of how strange the 3D stuff can work, whenever I'm trying to like stream specific games, it can visibly show that it's like chugging a little bit, because the system requirements, especially for like 3D, can be pretty intense.
I'm having
Oh,
that
yeah.
with FPS games really bad. Like my
Yeah.
CPU usage is going so high.
I've
Yeah.
considered doing a dual PC setup just because of that too. Yeah.
It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm having that when I do Uwu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Transition.
transition. It happened
just-
to me too.
Oh, sweet slideshow time. Let's go.
There's one thing I don't know if this is like for 14 in general in streaming, but I've noticed that if you just turn your like your like frame rate down like to like 60, it's like, because like something with VTube Studio plus like OBS like interacts weirdly plus 14. Like I don't have this with any other game, but if I have VTube Studio going plus 14 plus OBS all at the same time, I have to specifically turn down 14 to like 60 FPS. Otherwise, it
Oh.
doesn't like stream, like it gets really choppy in the stream for some reason.
Yep.
I have no idea why.
Yeah, I've
I
heard
have that
of
same
that.
problem.
Yeah. I probably do need to upgrade my computer before I get too deep into it. But it sounds like I just need an iPhone too, right?
Probably
not
You
necessarily.
don't need to. It's just in
It's-
case you want to get like really crazy with the face tracking and recognition.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the difference between being like on a Logitech webcam versus like buying a Sony camera.
Yeah.
Like both
Yeah.
work. It's just quality goes up.
I guess, on a Moogle head, it doesn't really move its mouth anyway. Well, it doesn't move like has a lot of facial expressions, but maybe it would be awesome to have the mouth
Unless
moving and
you
going
want
crazy.
it to.
Hmm.
Just make it an actual Moogle though, not a Moogle mask.
Okay.
That's what you should do.
like a
Just
big
be
buff
a
actual
Moogle.
Moogle.
Yeah, a buff actual Moogle.
Okay, I can do it. I think we'll see how that goes in the future. Just to let you know, everyone, I'll talk to all the Patreon people. Make sure you're on board, and we'll just raise money for it, and we'll get that going. All right,
Donation goal.
donation
Someone-
goal. Yeah,
Someone
yeah.
asked what the best way to find an artist is, and personally, like, just go on Twitter. There's so many.
Just
Oh,
look
yeah.
at what other people have used. You'll see the quality, what it'll look like actually in motion. And if you
Mhm.
like that, look at the artists that they used.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I probably will be doing that. I have already wonderful connections with people who know other people.
There
that
you
do it,
go.
so.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, that being said, we can go ahead and start doing some closing statements here and wrapping up. I mean, this has been a fun episode. It's just been really enjoyable to hang out with some amazing people and talk about just VTubing in general, because it is something I think is going to be really important going into the future, and people need to stop being weird and goofy about it. Unless you want to be weird and goofy in a positive way, that's always great. But the negative, weird and goofy, I don't want that anymore. That being said, let's go ahead and go to each person and just some whatever you want to say for ending the show, and kind of where people can find you and all that great stuff. And it's a lot of people this time because we got 5 on here, but I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go clockwise and start with Xyros, right? Is it Xyros? Am I saying that right, or Xyros?
Xyros.
Xyros, okay.
I'm
All
just very bad at correcting people.
Please do.
I don't really-
I can't speak half the time normally, so
Yeah, you can find me at twitch.tv/Xyros. I'm typically playing, well, right now because it's October, I've been playing spooky games. Ooh, and still 14. I do like a whole bunch of ultimate rating and savage rating and stuff like that. I also have my Twitter account, which is Xyros9. I don't know why I can't get rid of that 9. It's never going to leave me. It's going to be there for the rest of my life, and I'm just going to have to stare at it and cry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, but I can get over it. It's fine.
Any shout outs that you want to do to anybody?
Specific shout outs that I have. I've got some awesome friends that I know of that are all starting to like kind of get into VTubing a lot too, or at least with PNG tubers. There's Core Commander. I would shout out Kiri Ahri since we're in the same stream
Who
team,
dat?
but they're already here. But I can still shout them out anyway.
Hey.
Yeah. Some other people that I know. My brain just went blank. I'm like, oh, I know all these people,
They'll all
and then
get
all of a sudden,
mad at you. They'll all be mad
You don't
at
have
you.
to
later.
shout out everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna
like
shout out
everyone,
everybody,
like,
and my
oh,
brain
my
just
God.
went dumb.
started. All right, number 1.
number 1, and number 2.
I
That's
used
it.
to have someone who would come on to MogTalk and they had like a list and they'd just like go through pages of page.
Oh my god.
Like the shout out to my mom.
But if you like my background, a lot of my like art assets, they're not done by the person who made my model, but they're all done by Clev Clairol, and they're actually just hanging out and chat. They're pretty freaking awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, then they get a big shout out, and also to all the people that got into VTubing. You guys are fantastic. I love all your models. And I know I see all of them like pretty regularly, but I never get to like say that in
Well, there you
person.
go. You said
Is
it
this
in
in person?
person. This is in person. Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. All right. Spofie, do you want to go?
Sure, I don't have as much to say.
That's okay.
But yeah, I'm Sophie or Spofie, still a Lollapalooza VTuber. Been it the whole past 2 hours, but still. I'm not actually an only crafting streamer. I know I said that at the beginning of the stream, but I'm actually Prong T and Uwu on 2 different teams right now. I'm re-rating with Stal in a couple weeks, which is going to be pretty
Yay.
fun. I'm doing Uwu with Xyros too, so
I
lots of
heard he's pretty
Uwu.
handsome.
And just lots of, I don't know, random different stuff. Also, media tour stuff on October 13th when the embargo is up. Please look forward to it. And I would like to shout out my emote artist Bilby because they just started making VTuber rigs and they're really good. So if you want like especially like animal rigs, like he has a bee rig that he made for himself and it's super cute. Yeah, go
Nice.
check out Bilby if you're thinking about rigs.
I'm gonna go do that.
Trying to get that buff Moogle model.
Yeah, Bilby would do such a good job with it.
Okay. And Stal.
I'm Stal. I'm not actually Zemo.
Gasp!
Oh no! What?
I'm sorry.
My immersion.
Lied.
How could you?
I stream raids and stuff, and I run around fences. And yeah, if you like Island Sanctuary, I'm gonna be on top of that, 100%. At twitch.tv/Stal. For media tour stuff, I'll be uploading videos on youtube.com/Stalala. And Twitter, if you want to follow, it's Stalala_.
Perfect.
Yeah. Shout out to Frosty.
Ooh.
Or I'm not gonna use the picture this time, I
No.
promise.
No,
What picture?
it's a picture that just like fucking like makes me feel awkward and weird. That's it.
Shout out to Frosty for doing MogTalk, and Grant's a Twitch partner. Even though you hate Twitch, but you know,
I
it's,
can tell you
it's
how to-
fine.
I can tell you how to get partnered in 7 years.
That's a mood.
Yeah.
And shout out to Q and also my artist and rigger and Noira on Twitter. Yeah. Oh, and Ori, my favorite healer, my favorite shepherd.
Ori's a champ.
Yeah,
We're gonna have him on the
Ori's
show
a
actually in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or actually, it might be next week that we have him on the show. Now that I think about it.
Oh heck yeah.
Yay.
But Kayoko.
First, shout out to Frosty because, well, Frosty's having a baby. So congratulations to Frosty and Kerr.
Thank
That's
you.
important. And then also thank you for having me and also all of our wonderful other VTuber guests. Thank you guys. But also, yeah, you guys can find me at Kayoko Star, pretty much anything, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. Yeah. And if you need fashion report info, you can get it from there, or if you want to watch my streams. But yeah, I mostly have been doing Final Fantasy 14, and I've been playing Dark Souls and Bloodborne, stuff like that, game-wise. But yeah, also I wanted to shout out to my artist and rigger. My artist is Starbottle, and my rigger is Asagiri Yuya. So they did an amazing job on the model. So I just want to say thank you to them and shout them out quick. Please go check out their art.
Okay. And last but not least, Kiri.
Who, me? Oh. Hail Frosty, thank you for having me. I was a little nervous, but
I couldn't even tell.
Hi everyone. I am Kiri. Like I said earlier, like here's the nervousness coming out. I mostly just do rating stuff. You can catch me at twitch.tv/KiriAhri. Right now I am suffering endlessly in tea all the time, so you can come enjoy my suffering with me. I was a lot more tame on MogTalk than I am in my stream, so fair warning, I'm over the top chaotic lewd energy at my stream. But yeah, thanks for having me here. I tried to be on my best behavior to not embarrass every one of my friends.
You've already embarrassed him by coming on the show at all. So.
Yeah, you're welcome. But shout outs again. Thanks for having me, and everyone here is amazing. Xyros, back at you, friend. Back at you. My artist and the person who did my rig was Kipu-chan, who did my rig, and Strawberry Cakes on Twitter. They're amazing, super communicative. Definitely recommend. Yeah, that's all I got.
That's perfect.
I'm gonna go hyperventilate in a corner now.
Oh, I want to say again, everyone that came on the show, you guys are all fantastic, and it means a lot to me that you came on and did this show, because it is something I wanted to do for quite a while, and I just like to explore the Final Fantasy XIV community, what's happening in the Final Fantasy XIV community, and this is something that's happening and is important, and I think it's just going to grow to be more and more. And maybe this show is going to turn into just a pure only VTube show. We don't know. It could be that situation, and I'd be more than happy with it.
The future.
The future, yeah. But I also want to do real quick my own shout outs here. Thank you, Kiara, my wife, who is currently with our baby and helping make that baby happen and create it, but just by being pregnant and going through all those troubles. And I know it's not the easiest thing in the world, but I love her, and she puts up with me doing this every weekend, so it means a lot to me. And also thank you very much to Andre Kane, who helps with the intro music that we have, and the closing music. And then also definitely shout out to all the Patreon supporters, all the subs, all the followers, all the people who are just here watching and don't really care and will probably unfollow as soon as afterwards, but doesn't matter, you're here. And it means a lot to me that you came and support these kind of conversations for Final Fantasy XIV. And definitely huge fucking shout out to Square Enix for being such an amazing company and allowing me to have the ability to have these kind of conversations, the ability to be a part of different things, and it means a lot to me. That being said, we'll go ahead and start wrapping up. Next week we are doing a healer show, just to let you know. And there are so many fucking good healers out there. But there are a few that will be coming on, and we're working that out. And it's the perfect time to do it because it's going to be right after the embargo, and we'll be able to have some real conversations about it. So look forward to that. And also, I feel like there's something else I need to announce, but that might be it. I think that's it. You guys are all wonderful. Remember to be good, keep cool, and everyone that can wave, you better say wave when I say bye. And stay frosty. Bye.
Bye.
You guys say bye too. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Thank you everybody for watching. I do want to take a quick moment here to thank our Patreons who help make this show happen. First, a few organizations or communities in the Final Fantasy XIV community that are pretty cool. Awk Morning, which is a raid resource website that you guys should check out if you want to get more into PvE. Teamcraft, which is a great crafting website if you want to work with others or learn more about crafting. I would check that out. Then there's Phase Temperance, who puts on events for PvE, hardcore PvE players. I would definitely check them out. They have a Discord. And then, of course, some just awesome people who help support the show. Dude is Antonio, D Fury, Daniel H, Dr. Dirk, JJ, Megan C, Nami, Psyche, and Tagalong. All wonderful people. Thank you so much for helping make this show happen. This show and more like it, definitely appreciate your support. It helps us do digest and everything else. And there are plenty of other people who support other tiers. I want to give a thank you to them. That being said, we'll be back next week. You guys all have a wonderful rest of your week. Hope it's very spooky this month for you. And until next time, be good. Bye.